Howdy, my name is Jose Medina, and today I'm going to be talking about the teacher resource called Flocabulary. Flocabulary is something I had never heard of until I saw my mentor teacher in senior methods play one of these videos for her students. I thoroughly enjoyed it, and it seemed like the students thoroughly enjoyed it as well, because it seemed to grasp their attention right at the beginning of the lesson, which seemed to make the class go a lot smoother. Now, without further ado, what is Flocabulary? Flocabulary, it's an engaging site that aids in vocabulary through trap beats and sick bars. And later on in the presentation, I'll actually show a video from their website that kind of shows you what this entails. Now, it doesn't necessarily have to go in an English language arts and reading classroom. They have videos that can help in social studies, math, and also science. So here I have the website right here, and I'll actually kind of show you what the website looks like. Unfortunately, I don't have a clicker or anything like that, but I'm going to go ahead and highlight areas that I'm talking to you about, okay? So the one thing that I really like about this website is, as you see right here, this section I'm highlighting right here, is that there's a recommendations page where you can actually select subjects that you teach. So for instance, I would select the subject of language arts, and what this does is it narrows down what they recommend for me, and it really helps save some time for the teacher, which I think is crucial. And as you can see right here at the top, where I just highlighted, I didn't highlight the whole part. Oh, here, I just did it right here. That's pretty much everything that it has right there. As you can see right here, it shows you the Texas standards, and then it has all core subjects that you can get help in. Me personally, I really like that life skills part, because what it does is it has things such as social and emotional learning, health and wellness, and financial literacy. Us as teachers, we really, at least me personally, it's hard to kind of teach our students about this stuff when we have to follow the TEKS and we have to get them prepared for STAR. But sometimes I feel like it's good to take time away from that to go ahead and help the students with mental health, and especially with our older students about financial literacy and things of that nature. So as I promised earlier, I know I told us we were going to watch a video. It won't be the full video, but I'll kind of show you what these videos are like, okay? So there's a video that I watched the other day about similes and metaphors, and I'm going to show it to us right now, okay? So, without further ado, similes and metaphors.
Christina was walking home by herself after babysitting. The night was dark. She walked by a cornfield. The crickets made sounds. Eyes glowed from the cornstalks. What?
This sounds like a good story.
Yeah?
I'ma let you finish.
Okay.
But these lines are boring.
Really?
They're not vivid enough.
Huh.
We need to make this come to life with some similes and metaphors.
Okay.
Got a story laying flat on the page. Want it to come to life like a play on the stage. Describe using metaphors and similes. Writing vivid stories will be a breeze. A similes, a figure of speech, using like or as to compare different things. A metaphor compares things to, without, like, or as. Don't get them confused. Now let's rewrite that story from before, but this time let's use similes and metaphors. Take this line.
The night was dark.
That's written simply, without much spark. Let's add a metaphor. I'm on this.
The night was a cave of darkness.
Now the night isn't actually a cave, but that line is more vivid on the page. It's a metaphor I didn't use.
Alright, so for time constraints, I'm going to go ahead and stop the video right there. But what I really enjoyed about that video is that it gave definitions and that it provided examples for the students, which I think is key, because it shows that it gives them a model as well. And which makes instruction easier for me, because I can always use this as a reference point for my students whenever we dive into the lesson, okay? So I'm going to exit out of the website right here and give some more information, okay? So something I also found out was a little fun fact is that Flocabulary is actually a product of Nearpod. So there's a few similarities in how the website is designed. So the cost. The cost for individual use is $120 a year. They market it as $10 a month, which looks good, but it's a one-time payment. So it's $120 up front. Now, if you can't make that type of commitment, they have the monthly option, which is $15 a month. I tried finding some prices for campus use, but they won't have that on their website. It says to contact them for quotes. So we'll move on. What's it used for? I kind of have talked about that briefly, but I'll just kind of go over the slide here. So my teacher, I'm in an English language arts classroom, but I know when a lot of people think of vocabulary, they think, oh, just in an ELA classroom. Well, that's actually false, and Flocabulary knows that as well. And so they have content-specific vocabulary, also for social studies, math, and science, and it also includes language arts and social studies. And on the website, I showed how they also have life skills, financial literacy, things like that. What I think it's best used to activate background knowledge for students, meaning I want this to be used at the beginning of my class because whenever students come into an English language arts classroom, and I'm speaking from experience, they come in groggy, they come in not really wanting to write or read or anything like that. And I think this provides a spark for them at the beginning of my class, and it allows them to become engaged and kind of feel involved in the classroom. And I think that works well. It can also do well as a wrap-up activity at the end of class. So don't just take my word for it. See how it works best for your classroom. But the field experience, the classroom that I'm in right now for my senior methods, I think it works best at the beginning of class. I'm sorry. How is it used? I was going to show a video here, but I feel like I've explained it, how it's used and what it can be used for. One thing I didn't go over was that it can be used to kind of teach lessons, and they have quizzes on here, and it records grades and things of that nature. But I think it's best used to kind of engage the students, and the engagement is something that first year teachers struggle with. So I think something like this can kind of help with that in a major way. So why I chose it, like I mentioned earlier in the presentation, my field experience teacher showed me about it, and from the very beginning, as soon as the video played and the beat started going off, I saw kids who had their heads down and immediately brought them back up and started vibing to the beat. And I'm not going to lie, I was one of them. I was going up and down, just kind of feeling the vibe, nodding my head to the beat, which was really cool. And like I said, it was something I'd never seen before, so I think that this will work well in my classroom. And I honestly wish I knew about this when I was in my junior methods class, field placement, because I think this would have helped a lot. But I'm glad I know it now because I'm able to take it with me into my student teaching and beyond. So how can it be used to support? I've kind of mentioned this throughout the whole slideshow presentation, but it can help us struggling students, can help you find engaging ways to grasp the attention, and it can also spark their interest in a major way. As I said, this can be used either wrapping up a lesson or building that background knowledge to begin a lesson. Okay. And depending on your school, you can use Flocabulary to teach a whole lesson or just focus on content-specific vocabulary. The school I'm at, they use it just for the content-specific vocabulary, and that's how I think I will use it. And that is all. Thank you for your time, and have a great rest of your night.